What's up, Internet? In today's video, we're looking at the universal gas stock, going over the features and configurations of this air system. So the UGS is a regulated air system, which replaces the stock on your airsoft rifle and allows you to have one fully contained system rather than running the rifle off a remote air rig in your backpack. This system does feature an integral regulator, which is adjustable between 40 and 130 psi, and it can be tournament locked with a standard chrono zip tie, so it can be used at official events. Now, the UGS is available with different regulator output caps. So when it comes to selecting the correct UGS for your rifle, you first need to determine the type of receiver your rifle has. The Type 1 UGS is designed to work with rifles that have a real steel spec receiver, where the back of the receiver is threaded to accept a threaded buffer tube, where it simply threads into the receiver. This type of receiver is not very common among airsoft rifles, and not all use mil-spec threads. Mil-spec thread is 1/3/16/16, so if your receiver is threaded, just make sure it is actually mil-spec. The Type 2 UGS is designed for rifles which have a Tokunrui spec receiver, which is where the buffer tube slides onto a stock tail in the receiver and is secured to the center with a bolt. The majority of AEG manufacturers use this design, so when you take your rifle apart, you'll probably find it uses a Type 2 UGS. We also make a special model for the VFC HK417 and G28 series. These rifles have a much wider buffer tube, so we scaled up the body of the UGS so it thread correctly into those receivers. Now, with the larger 7.62 receiver, there's more distance between the engine and the stock, so we opted to use the Type 2 output cap to help bridge that distance and offer more support for the airline. For more information on installing these systems, check out the UGS installation video linked in the description. Alright, now that you know what kind of UGS your rifle takes, now it's time to decide what kind of propellant you want to use. Currently, you can use either a 2-inch diameter HPA tank, this is a common 13-3000, or CO2 cartridges using one of our CO2 inserts. Either type of propellant can be used with the UGS regulator, and only different stock rail is required. Okay, so the main question we get asked is how many shots you can get with the system. The number of shots will vary depending on the barrel length and bore size, as well as the way the BB you're shooting, and what pressure you're trying to run at to achieve the velocity you want. So with that many variables, it is hard to say exactly what you get from your particular setup. However, as an example, an F2 using a M4 length barrel, so 6.05 by 380 millimeters, firing a .28 BB at 1.5 joules, which is the standard field limit, you get about 1,000 shots from a 13-3000 tank. With the 33 gram CO2, you get about 500 shots, and with the 12 gram CO2, you get about 180 shots. Now remember that the configuration of your rifle will affect air efficiency. So for example, a rifle with a tighter, longer barrel will be more efficient than a rifle with a wider, shorter barrel, because there is more compression and more length for the BB to accelerate. Also, since you will have more muzzle energy with a heavier BB, less air is needed to accelerate the round, so therefore you'll be more efficient running something like a .32 versus 0.25. Okay, with the 2-inch diameter HPA tank, you'll be using the HPA stock rail, along with the 2-inch diameter buttstock, such as the GMP R3, or various stocks available from MCS, such as the MTA stock. In this configuration, you still have an adjustable length of pull and benefit from a higher shot count, as well as the ability to use the system in the wintertime, since temperature does not affect the expansion of HPA as it does with CO2. However, with the CO2 inserts, you can use the mil-spec stock rail, which gives you the ability to use a regular mil-spec stock and retain that realistic cool factor for your rifle. Although you do get a lower shot count with these cartridges, you can easily carry spares, and they're very fast to change out on the fly. But possibly the best feature is how versatile the system is. The single UGS can be reconfigured to use either propellant very quickly by changing out the stock rail. This is done simply by removing the pivot screw with a 3/1 Allen wrench, and you just swap the stock rail from one to the other. Alright, that covers the overview of the UGS system. Be sure to check out our social media for more product videos and updates. And as always, if you want to see something in particular, just comment below. See you later.